Hello. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, I see you guys checking in from all over the world. Can somebody give me a thumbs up that they can hear me? Awesome. Bienvenidos. Hi. Oh my gosh, y'all are like all over the place. This is so crazy. Okay, so I just put up a poll because I want to know how you guys actually found out about this webinar. So, did you find out from a podcast episode? Did you find out from my IG or another panelist IG or Twitter or whatever? Your boo, your friend, your mom, your baby daddy. It's fine. Just let me know. I'm curious. This is awesome. So I'm also broadcasting. Hi guys, I'm broadcasting on IG Live. So in case you were not able to get access to the webinar because we actually are over capacity, thank you. Like I can't even believe it. You can still hear me talk about what we're talking about tonight, which is how to build a blog that actually makes money. So we're gonna get into all of the deets. We're gonna get into all the techniques that I use to make money on the internet. So it is 7:31. I'll give, because we're dealing with a lot of Latinos today. So I'm going to give you guys an extra couple minutes to log on. In the meantime, go ahead and check out the poll section at the bottom of your window. There are several polls there. So go ahead and give me a response because I'm curious who actually has a blog right now, who doesn't, what your level of experience is. Do you have a side hustle? Because that's why we're here tonight, right? Have you been laid off by COVID-19? Because obviously that shit is causing a lot of drama. And so I'm curious, is that one of the reasons why you have extra free time today, unfortunately. And also I have asked several questions in the Q&A section. So I am curious, what topic are you thinking about blogging about? And where are you tuning in from? So for anybody that's on the chat, if you could put the flag from your native country or where your parents are from, I would be loving that because I just want to know where everybody's like cultura. I'm Puerto Rican, in case you don't know. Let's see who we got representing here tonight. Hey, Boricua, Dominicana. That I sound like I'm starting to write a song and shit. Hi, Canada, Colombia. My husband's half Colombian. I love it. Mexico in the house. Ecuador, Guatemala. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Which one is this one? That is Panama. Yes. Hey, girl. Sade. Hey, baby girl. How are you? Poland. Wow. Peru. Houston. That is not a country. Honduras. Yes. The Bronx is not a country either, boo. That's okay. I love it. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started because we have a lot of ground to cover. So thank you first off for being here. This is day one of the Side Hustle Summit, and it is being brought to you by me, Janice, the host of the Yo Quiero Dinero podcast. And I'm also, I have the pleasure of hosting this webinar or this week of webinars with four other amazing Latinas. We're going to be showing you all types of ways to make money on the internet. So, the thing that inspired us to do this is we obviously are seeing the effects of COVID-19. And we want to empower you to be able to understand that it's not all about a 9 to 5 to make money. There are so many ways, especially with the internet nowadays. So I want to give you some tools, things that we've learned over the years, and just really share the possibilities that, it's not all about the cubicle life if you don't want it to be. So tonight we are going to be talking about what I do. So I'm a blogger, and I actually use that as a side hustle to make a substantial amount of money, and we're going to talk about exactly how much and what I do to make that. So without further ado, let's get started. You guys can see my PowerPoint presentation. Thumbs up. All right, good. And let's focus in on this PowerPoint presentation. So we'll go over a couple rules, housekeeping, goodies -9. Oh, that's a typo. All right, goodies about me and my blog. What is a blog and why do you want one? The 6 steps that you need to start your blog, how to make money, and we're going to talk about search engine optimization and analytics, which is the meat of that is what makes the difference, whether you're making money or not. You need to understand those 2 concepts more than anything, and we'll get into depth about what that means. All right. So my goal this evening is to save you from the drama. And what I mean by that. So I did not know anything when I started blogging. And so as a result, there was a lot of trial and error. I had no clue. And so I have done the work for you. I am literally giving you the tools to be successful. If you don't want to listen to me, then you're causing your own drama. But if you're here tonight, I'm pretty sure you are just looking for a roadmap in order for you to, create this system of making money so that you don't make all the mistakes and it doesn't take you 5 years to make 5 figures. Hello. So I'm trying to save you from that. All right. Does that sound like a plan? All right. So housekeeping. If you have a question, do not put it in the general chat box. Put it in the ask a question section on the bottom. And if you're loving the content, you see this little donate button down here in the bottom? Tip your waitress. Anyways, technical issues. If you're having issues with connection, make sure it's not you. And if, resetting your computer doesn't work, if you're, make sure your speaker's on. Otherwise, use the chat box to let us know. Okay, so what you're getting tonight, you are going to be getting an 8-page build your blog template to help you start strategizing your blog. You're going to get a 28-page report on how influencer marketing is shaped by COVID-19. And you might be asking yourself, like, why does that matter? Why do I care? So COVID-19 is literally changing the way that people, specifically companies, market. And you can just understand, we have a capitalist system here in the United States. So companies want you to start buying things, and they're going to be using the power of the internet more than ever. So it's important for you to understand how that marketing strategy should impact how you market yourself as a blogger, because it's going to make a big difference depending on what you focus on. You're going to be getting Google's official SEO starter guide. So that way you understand what Google is looking for from your website in order to make you rank at the top and not on page 79 where nobody's going to find you. You're going to get a list of 10 WordPress plugins that I love and use on my site. And you'll get a special offer for one-on-one build your blog coaching with me in case just this information is just blowing your mind to the point where you're just like, I need help. That's where I come in. Okay. So a little bit about me. I founded the Delish Delights blog in May of 2013, and it is a Latin food blog. It was not always so, and so I will get into that. I'm an engineer by education. I've always loved cooking, though. Like, I kind of went to school for science because that's what I was told to do, and because I was good at it, but is it my passion? No. Cooking has been my passion, and hey, fellow engineer, woo-hoo, it's one of those things where, like, your parents, they're Latino, they tell you, like, you got to go to school for, like, something that's going to make money. So I did, but I always had this passion for food. And I knew that I didn't want to, like, work in a restaurant, because anybody who knows, family, friends work in a restaurant, you're working like 16-hour days and you're not making money. So that's a pure passion job. And I wanted to, like, share my love of cooking without the actual manual labor of preparing food, because it's not cute. I tried it for like 2.5 seconds as a personal chef. I was like, nah, I'm not built for this life. So I decided, well, I realized that I was actually following bloggers like Skinny Taste and the Pioneer Woman. And I was like, yo, like, I could do that too. Why not? That's like the scientist in me that I'm just like, I'm just going to figure out how to do this because obviously somebody else is doing it. So I founded my site, and then in 2014, I started getting serious about understanding, like, what bloggers actually do to make money. Because, it's nice. You have a little website with like 5 people going to it and they're all related to you. It's like, okay, why am I doing this? So after that, I started really focusing on understanding fundamentals, analytics, content, and quality. And then after 2017, I started making some serious income. So my stats right now, I have about 1.8 million page views and about 1.5 million readers on an annual basis. So, you know, started from the bottom, now we're here. All right, so this is my income history. Now I don't have income before 2015 because it probably wasn't even worth reporting on my taxes, but you know, don't tell my accountant. So 2016, I made about $2,200, and last year I made $46,000 and change. And so let's see what's coming this year. I have no idea, but yeah. So this is, you can literally see the progress here of growth as I continue to focus on understanding like what it is that I'm actually doing and why. So how did I get started? I had no clue what I was doing, guys. I will tell you straight up, like I did not know you could make this kind of money. Trial and error was my strategy. I went viral by accident back when like you didn't have to pay Facebook to like show people your stuff, which I hate Facebook for that, but it was much easier to go viral back in the day. And actually a layoff changed everything for me. So in January of 2014, I was driving to work and I saw that I got an email from HR to I had a meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you know, you got a meeting with HR at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's a wrap, like you're done. And I knew it. So I walked in there and I got fired, and it was a snowstorm. So then I drove home. It took me 3 hours to get home in the snowstorm after getting fired. And of course, you know, you have the like existential crisis meltdown. You're like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? But then I realized that I hated that job, and like the best thing they ever could have done was like fire me and give me severance so that I could actually do something I wanted to do. So what I did is, you know, after crying for like a couple days on my couch, I was like, yo, I hate this job. This is great. I'm out. So I decided to sign up for a course at the Institute for Culinary Education in New York City. It was like a 1.5 hour long course, $75. And it was with a food blogger. You can actually find her on Instagram at Just a Taste. And she taught a class about like intro to food blogging. So she talked about SEO and like content and food styling. And I was just like, yo, this is what I've been missing. This is why I'm not making any money like blogging, because I really don't know what I'm doing. I just thought like, I'm just going to write some cute stuff and like, that's it. Put a link on Facebook, and that's not how it works. So that class really like changed my perspective and really made me focus in on like what I needed to do. So I invested in myself. I got a nice camera. I did a little bit of, you know, education with that one class. And then practice. Honestly, practice is you can't make up for that. You can attend every course in the world. You can buy a $7,000 camera, but if you don't actually put work into what you're doing, you're not going to go anywhere. But isn't that like the story of life? Okay, so what is a blog? So a blog is an online journal or an informational website where the posts that are newest show up at the top. So that's what's different from a website. Websites usually like static. You think about just like Expedia.com or something like that's, you just go there to search stuff. But a blog is actually like, it's like a journal. And you can have one person in charge of a blog, or you can have a group of writers. So this is the first question that I want you to ask yourself. Why do you want to start a blog? Is there something that you want to communicate, like an idea or a message? Do you want to build a community around your love for a cause? Do you want to keep your followers or fans informed of what's going on with your brand? Do you have a service or a product that you want to sell and you want people to understand how it works? So a blog can help you inform, educate, promote, and even sell. And it's important to know that 61% of online customers make purchases based on the recommendation from a blog. So I'm going to go ahead and put a poll up here. And I'm curious, have you ever bought something that you saw on a blog or you saw from an influencer? I know I have. All right, go at it. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, oh my God, like how much is this going to cost? So a blog domain, which is the address, so like google.com, is going to cost you about $15 a year. Web hosting is about $7 a month approximately. Especially now with COVID-19, there's a lot of web host companies that are having like super duper sales. So they're encouraging obviously a lot of people who maybe have not had like websites before to sign up. So you can get a much better deal than this right now. Basically everything else is free. So your initial investment is about $99. If you can't do that, you need to stop and look at yourself for a second because I'm pretty sure you're spending more than that on a manicure. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the 6 steps to start a blog. The first one is find the perfect niche. We'll talk about what that means. Then you have to choose a blogging platform, and I'm literally going to tell you which one to choose. So I'm making that decision for you right now. Then you need to pick a domain name. What is your website going to be called? Then you need a web host. Where's your website going to live? Then you need to write content and promote your blog and make that paper. Okay? All right. So selecting a niche. My niche for my blog is Puerto Rican and Latin recipes. Was it always that? Absolutely not. I was just making random shit, taking ugly pictures of it, putting it online, and that was a wrap. Like I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna cook whatever and put it on here, and like my mom and my grandma are gonna like it, and like obviously that was not going to work. So you need to figure out like what is your blog gonna be about, because you can't be about everything. Now, I have had people reach out to me and they're just like, oh, but you know, I like yoga and like green juice, and I also like to travel, and I want to like show the different outfits that I put on my dog, whatever. There are such things as like a lifestyle blog. So a lifestyle blog is like more about the personality, right? It's more about like, let's just take Kim Kardashian, right? Or Courtney. Courtney has a blog, right? So Courtney's whole existence revolves around her convincing you that her fucking life is amazing and that you want to be her. So you can do that, but it's probably going to cost you like a lot of money unless you already have like 100,000 followers on social media. Like you're going to be booking like trips to San Tropez and whatever. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you need to like do something that's going to make you stand out if you're going to be a lifestyle blogger. If you're going to do something else like, you know, beauty, maybe you're going to focus on like drag makeup. I don't know. Maybe you love like sewing. And so you're going to be like the sewing queen. It's the more specific you get, like it's just easier to create content that aligns with that. If you're just trying to be all over the place, it gets a lot harder. Okay, so choosing a blogging platform. There are a lot of different ways to blog and a lot of different systems to do it. Honestly, don't even bother with anything other than WordPress. WordPress is actually like the #1 blogging platform that people use, and 36% of the web is built on WordPress. So that just tells you like the impact that it has. If you have any intention of making money online, you need a self-hosted blog using WordPress. And I'll talk about what that means. So when we're talking about a self-hosted website, it's basically like the difference between renting and buying, right? If you rent an apartment, it doesn't belong to you. You can maybe like hang some shit on the walls, but you're not going to be like tearing down walls and making new rooms. And when your landlord is done with you, maybe he's like, you got to go. When you own your website and you own your blog, you can do whatever you want. You can tear it down, you can change the colors, you can add all these features, so you can customize it according to your specifications. You don't want to rent a blog. That's a waste of time. You can't customize it, you can't monetize it, so don't do it. Don't even bother. And the way to know, usually if you're going through like a host and you want like the free version of a blog, you're going to see like you cannot have like delishdelights.com. It's going to be delishdelights.wordpress.com. So WordPress is going to own that site. And you can't move it. You can't take it with you. You can't change it. You can't do anything. So don't waste your time. Okay. So self-hosting, just to reiterate, because this confuses a lot of people. So this is when you pay a web host company, like Big Scoots, that's who I use, but there's like, you know, GoDaddy and SiteGround and Bluehost and DreamHost and a million other hosts. You pay them essentially to host your website. So, imagine you buy a piece of land and you're plopping a house there. This is the same concept. And this allows you unlimited freedom. Yes, HostGator is another one. I don't like them though, but it's okay. Okay, so just a little bit more about WordPress. It's 100% free. And usually you can get it, WordPress, I think if you're talking about WordPress Premium or Business, you're going through WordPress.com. WordPress Premium is super expensive for the same things that you can do self-hosted, so don't even bother. Usually when you are dealing with WordPress, that's it. Okay, so usually when you're dealing with a host, you can have WordPress installed as part of your subscription with them. So you want to typically go for a web host that specializes in blogs. And there are some like Bluehost and DreamHost and Big Scoots and also SiteGround. They all specialize in blogs, so their infrastructure and the amount of power that they're going to put behind your blogs, because blogs are very they're data heavy, right? You're posting a ton of stuff, pictures, videos, maybe all types of links. So you want to make sure you're dealing with a host that can deal with that level of data, because otherwise you're going to have your site crashing all the time, and ain't nobody got time for that. And then the thing that I love about WordPress is that you can customize it with things that are called plugins. So you can think of a plugin like an app. So you can install all these little apps on your website to deal with things like recipes, for example. I have one for my recipes. I have one for installing ads. I have one for my social media links. I have one so that when people hover over a picture, like Pinterest comes up and then they can post it to Pinterest. So there's like a million plugins. They're all free and they can help you do different things on your website. Some of these plugins have like premium upgrades that unlock features, but a lot of the times I don't pay for any of most of that stuff. And then there's also themes, which basically is like the design of your website. So WordPress offers like a couple thousand different themes, but as you get into understanding how they change what your site looks like, you might want to get something custom made that will cost you money, but they're not really that expensive. I think I paid like $60 for my theme, and once you buy it, you own it, so you can anytime it's upgraded, those upgrades are included with that purchase. All right. How's everybody doing so far? Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. Okay, good. All right, so picking a domain name. So you can think of this as what you're going to be known as on the internet, right? So that's like google.com, deliciouslice.com. I try to tell people that your domain name should have some way of tying into what you do, like what your blog is about. Because if it's just bluecheese.com and you're talking about dogs, it's like, but what? I don't understand. It's like the first thing that people will see, and then they don't understand what they're actually going to. It's confusing. So you want something that's unique and that is not similar to something that your competition is using. You want something that's easy to memorize, easy to pronounce and dictate over the phone, and it sounds trustworthy. So that just means you don't want some random shady weird website name like click here to win the lottery.com. That just sounds like you're trying to steal my money. And you want something short, unlike Yo Quiero Dinero podcast.com. It's long as hell, but it's fine. We're not going to talk about that right now. No hyphens, no underscores, no complicated words. Try not to use numbers and words because then that just gets confusing. And no weird spellings like Delish Delights, because I'm literally, guys, when I said I'm telling you what not to do, it's for real. Don't do it. It's confusing. Okay. So next step is getting a web host account. And this is basically where your site is going to live. So your host makes sure that your site is available 24/7 to potential readers and is where your files are stored online. So when you are selecting a web host account, you want to make sure that they provide and support free installations of WordPress. And these are just some examples of ones that are very well known. Sorry, Joy, I'm a clown. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So step 5, you have to start writing, obviously. You can create a great website, you can create a whole business plan, but you actually have to start like putting your content out there, right? Otherwise, what's the point? So there are specific rules around what Google actually determines as like optimal length. Because if a blog post is too short, they're just going to be like, well, this person's just trying to scam and they're just throwing random crap together and not really telling people anything. So we're not going to show them to people that are searching for whatever topic they're about. So there is an optimal length, and there is the headline, which is like your title. Can't be too long or too short. You don't want something that is like very vague, because the more vague it is, the harder it is to come up in the top ranked search results. You have to be specific enough, but not so specific that it gets cut off when you're doing that search, and then you don't even see like half of what the title is that you're looking for. And you also want to make sure that you're educating your readers. That should be the primary focus of your content. If it's useful and informative, you will get a steady stream of repeat traffic, because people will start trusting you and understanding, hey, last time I looked for like a recipe on arroz con gandules, I found it on deliciouslife.com. So that probably means she has a recipe for sofrito and mofongo and all that other stuff. And then people start looking, and that's how you get the loyalty and the readership, and people just start directly going to your site instead of going to like Google to find somebody that is offering what they're looking for. So then you want to promote your content. You want to let your friends and family know. You can submit your blog to search engines, and I got some questions about that last time, so let me see if I can show you what that means. My mouse is done. Actually, no, this is not going to let me get out of here because I'm broadcasting my screen. But after I disconnect, I'm actually going to I'm going to send you guys that link. So I'm going to send you a link on how to submit your blog to search engines. It's so simple. It's hilarious. Then you want to get active on relevant blogs and forums and network with other bloggers in your niche. They are not your competition. They are actually a really good source of referrals and traffic. So don't be shady. The internet doesn't like it. Be active on social networks. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not like into social media at all. And I have like maybe 1,700 followers on Facebook with my blog, maybe close to 3,000 on Instagram and 15,000 on Pinterest. But I did not do that on purpose. Like Pinterest is the type of thing where like it just spreads. I don't do any active marketing on any of my social media like that. The majority of my traffic, 85% actually, comes from Google. So focus on that, because social media has its like benefits, but getting traffic to websites is usually not one of them. You also want to start building a mailing list, so getting people to subscribe and give you their email so you can start sending them stuff, whether it's like free content or even if you want to sell products. That's a good way to get that in front of their eyes. And then you have to think about if you want to start paying for like Facebook ads or IG ads to advertise on the web. I don't do that. I think it's a waste of money, but it all depends what you're trying to do. It usually is more effective for people who are selling a service, like sales funnels and that type of thing. I don't do that. Okay, so how to get eyes on your blog. The key to getting traffic is to publish good quality content on a regular basis. We talked about that. You can actually do keyword searches where you're literally looking for what people are searching for, and you can go to trends.google.com to search for whatever people are looking for. If you want to write a recipe for lasagna, you can literally Google like what times of year does lasagna trend, or whatever, like what part of the world is that trending, or what type of lasagna they're looking for. It'll tell you all that for free. So that's a good place to start when you're thinking about writing a new content piece. Search engine optimization. Now, while paying for advertising and focusing on social media and all that stuff can generate traffic to websites, the majority is driven by search engines. And there's a plugin that I use called Yoast SEO that you can install on your blog, and it walks you step by step on what you need to focus on in your blog post in order to maximize it and optimize it for Google and for search engines. Like that is what revolutionized my blog for real. Yes, Gloria knows where it's at. Okay, so SEO, why does it matter? Search engine optimization is what SEO stands for. It is literally an art and a science of making web pages attractive to search engines. So the point of SEO is to get your website and your information like at the top. When you Google, I want you to do that right now. Go on google.com and Google arroz con gandules, and I will spell it in the chat in case. Tell me what comes up. The better a web page's search engine optimization, the higher it will rank in your search results listing. There you go. See? Yeah, who's the first? Goya. Fuck Goya. Their recipe's trash. Anyways, most people who use search engines, like let's be honest, they're only looking at page 1 or 2 of the results. You're not going to page 79 to go and find like what you're looking for. So if you're not on page 1 or 2, like you're completely wasting your time. And SEO is one of those things that if you focus on, it will continue to pay dividends over time. When you write a good piece of content that ranks high and that has the right keywords, your traffic will snowball over time. And let me tell you, my Arroz con Gandules blog post, I think it accounts for 20 to 25% of my total traffic on the website. That's wild. Okay. So it's about, and that's something that people are always looking for. Doesn't matter what time of year. Thanks, Jenny. All right. So above all else, focus on SEO. I cannot stress this enough. Bloggers who earn over $50,000 a year tend to put a lot of emphasis on it because they know that their number one their number one source of traffic is Google. Google, like, I don't even know about you, but I don't go to any other search engine to look for stuff. So Bing, Yahoo, that's great, whatever, but people just go to Google. So you need to focus on getting ranked there because that's what matters. And Google actually has a entire starter guide on how to write your blog posts to their specifications. So that's this link, and I'm going to be sending this to you via email so that you can start familiarizing yourself with what they're looking for. And like I said, Yoast SEO. It's like search engine optimization for dummies. It's the best. Okay, so factors that affect SEO, you need to obviously have a website that's user friendly. I think I said this on my last webinar where you do not want the TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross website where you just don't know where to find shit, okay? Like, it's cool to shop in that store because you just find treasures, but when I'm on the internet, I need to find what I'm looking for right now. You need to organize your website. It should be like very easy to find what I'm looking for. If I gotta search for 20 minutes for what I'm looking for, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And that's obviously going to mean a lot of turnover for your visitors, and you're not gonna want to go back to that site if you see it again because you're gonna be like, yeah, that's trash. I'll go somewhere else. Also, page speed is really important. If your page takes 20 minutes to load, ain't nobody got time for that. They're not gonna wait for you. They're gonna go find the information somewhere else. And this is a big thing. Mobile friendliness. If your website is not the type that is optimized for mobile, which means, if you look at my website on a desktop and you look at it on a phone, it doesn't look exactly the same. There are things that are moved and there are things that are in different places because they just need to, in order to read it on a phone, like it just needs to be structured a different way. And your theme has a lot to do with that. So your theme is either mobile friendly or it's not. So if you don't have a mobile friendly theme, you're going to rank really low because Google loves mobile friendly websites because obviously, like, I think more than 50% of the way that people access the internet is on a phone. And then there's something that you can't really control. So this is why I'm saying, like, you need to start your blog now because age does make a difference. The older your website is and the more posts you have and the more like trust you've built over the internet over the years with traffic, it'll tend to rank higher. So it's like, think about when you're searching a news story, like who comes up first, like CNN or MSNBC or the Huffington Post. It will come up way faster or way higher than like some random independent news site. Okay, so this is why you're all here. How do people make money blogging? So I'll tell you first what I do. I have ads, I have affiliate links, and I do sponsored posts. That's it. Of the $46,858 that I earned last year, about $43,000 of that was ads. So that is like really just passive income that I'm not really having to do anything other than provide a space for my ad provider to put ads up on my my videos and throughout the website. Then affiliate links. So in my recipes, sometimes if I feel like you should buy a specific pot to make this because it's what I use and it's what's going to make your recipe successful, then I'll include an affiliate link in the content. And then sponsored posts are, well, we'll get into that. So there are some other ways that people earn money. So you can sell digital products like ebooks, printables, courses. You can sell physical products. You can use it as a content marketing tool for your business. So a blog can be used as a way to like supplement and like build your relationship with clients. And you can also use it to sell memberships and services. Okay, so ads and affiliate marketing. There are two types of ads. So a CPC or a PPC ad is a cost per click, or is also known as a pay per click. And it's an ad that each time a reader clicks on the ad, you get paid for that click. CPMs are cost per 1,000 impressions. Those are ads that pay you a fixed amount of money based on how many people view your ads. And so it depends, like I like the CPM model because people don't necessarily have to click on it in order for you to make money. So it's easier as long as you have a steady stream of traffic to make money that way. And then for affiliate marketing, basically how that works is that an advertiser has a product they want to sell. They give you a unique link that tracks your affiliate code, and then you can put that on your site or you can include it in your email list. And then if that person clicks on the link and buys the product, then you earn a percentage of what they purchase. So a percentage of the money that they spent. So a place where a lot of people get started is through Amazon Associates, but there's also websites like ShareSale. And you can also like reach out to brands privately. I've done that too, and they've given me affiliate links that I can include in my website. It's a good thing to ask, like if you have a brand that you like and maybe they don't offer like sponsored blog posts. Sometimes they offer the opportunity to do an affiliate marketing situation where they'll give you a link to advertise. Okay, so sponsored posts. So like think about flat tummy tea, all that shit that you see on Instagram. It's like, oh my god, you need to buy this, it's gonna make you lose 100 pounds. So that is not just for the Kardashians of the world. It's not just for like Black China and whoever the hell else is doing this. Like anybody can be a quote unquote influencer if you have enough of a blog following. And you can take me for example. Like I don't have a ton of followers on social. So when companies contract me for sponsored posts, it's not because they care about my Facebook following. It's because I have 1.8 million readers, so they're just like, this is where the money's at. I don't care about like what you're doing over there. So it's important to know that you don't need 1 million followers on social to do this. So a sponsored blog post is when a blogger gets paid to talk about a product or a brand. So in my case, I usually end up working with companies that give me an ingredient or a couple of ingredients to make a custom recipe. I propose that recipe, I create it with their products. I obviously take pictures of their product with the final recipe and the steps in between, and then you get paid for that. So you can join influencer networks to do this, but you have to know your social and blog stats first, because they're going to ask you, okay, you want me to pay you $1,000 to feature like Cafe Bustelo on a blog post, but like you have 5 people coming to your blog. Like that doesn't make any sense. So you need to understand your social and your blog stats first. And we'll talk about how you can actually find that information. So if you'd rather not advertise, because some people just don't like having ads on their site, or if you don't want to advertise other people's site or other people's products, you can sell things like ebooks, online courses, or workshops. You can even sell content for other people to use, like images, videos, or music. And you can sell apps or plugins or themes as well for other bloggers. Okay, so then one thing that I really like about a blog that I don't think a lot of people think about is that it helps you actually build credibility. So it's a good way to put yourself out there if you want to become known as, oh, Rita, anyone else only see the cover slide? Okay. All right. So selling memberships, you can sell memberships as long as you have something to provide that is more valuable than what readers can get for free. So for instance, me, I provide free recipes on my blog. So if I started selling a membership, it would have to be like, I don't know. I don't even know how food bloggers monetize this, but um, I feel like I've seen some where they branch out and start teaching other people how to be food bloggers. So then they would sell like memberships to a course or something. And then building credibility. What I was talking about is that, you can put yourself out there as a voice for a specific topic. So, people start reading your content, your blog is popular, and then you can be recognized as a figure of, in your industry of choice. So if I wanted to become like known as a personal finance guru, like I could start a blog and start talking about all types of personal finance stuff. And then, people would be like, oh, okay, cool. Yes, one-on-one coaching sessions. That's also a good opportunity to sell a quote unquote membership. So blogging income stats. Bloggers who earn over $50,000 a year place a bigger emphasis on headlines and introductions. So this is like what your article is about. And the introduction, if you don't get somebody in the first paragraph of what you're writing about, there's no be out. So you need to focus on putting as much information in there that is relevant to what people are looking for so that they don't leave your page. They focus on SEO, email marketing, site design, the blog name and URL, and relationships with influencers. So that's important too, because if you're kind of like, working in this little silo, nobody knows who you are, that can impact your ability to make money. 45% of bloggers who earn over $50,000 a year sell their own product or service. So, I don't personally do that right now, but there are a million ways to monetize when it comes to that. And that is a big part of why people earn, substantial amounts of money when they're blogging. And this is really important. So 73% of bloggers who earn over $50,000 focus on a specific interest of a specific group. So don't be all over the place, like I said. Okay, so we're ready, right? We're gonna make that money. Hold up, wait a minute. I wasn't finished. Okay, so you have a blog. You publish every day, every week, whatever. What now? How do you even know like if what you're doing matters, if it's successful, if anybody's even looking at this? Analytics are your BFF. I will say it again. Analytics are your BFF. Okay, so Google Analytics is one of the most popular website analytics tools available. It is free, and you can actually code it into your website or install a plugin. That's what I did. The app for your blog. You can monitor how visitors interact with your web pages. So analytics tells you how many visitors you received, what pages they visit, how long they were online, and a lot more. So just a little bit of terminology because this can get a little bit confusing. So a user is an individual that visits your site. So, with those things that are called cookies that nobody really understands what they are, that's Google's way of knowing like if you've gone to a site before. So if that same user leaves your site and comes back, Google Analytics will remember them and it won't increase your number of users. So it's like, you have the neighbor that comes and goes. They're not a new neighbor. They're the same neighbor. They just keep showing up at your house. And then sessions are a single visit to your website. So when a user lands on one of your web pages and leaves a few seconds later, or they spend an hour, that's one session. And then page views are every single individual time that a page on your website is visited. So you can have a single session with a lot of page views if the user navigates to other websites or other web pages on your website without leaving. This is a little, it gets confusing. So read it a couple times. Obviously, this is all being recorded. You can watch this as many times as you want. It's important to understand the difference between these because you will be asked whenever you're pitching for a sponsored blog post or some affiliate marketing, they're going to ask you, what are your page views? What are your sessions? How many users? So it's important to know the difference. So this is a snapshot of I think this was like in the last 30 days. So it had 192,000 users and 261,000 sessions. They were on the site for an average of 1 minute and 43 seconds. This tells you how many active users there were at the time that I took the screenshot, what are the top 5 pages they were on. And this has like a million different ways you can run reports to look at data. So you can look at like geographically, where are people visiting? Like what time of day or night is it the most active? What are people searching for at Christmas versus Thanksgiving versus Easter, like all that stuff. So questions that analytics can help you answer are how many people visit your site, what websites send traffic to your website. So like, is Google, is it Pinterest, is it BuzzFeed? Who's sending these people? Where are they coming from? Which pages on my website are popular? And what blog content do my visitors like the most? And that is really important because once you start figuring that out, then you know what you're writing for. This is how I began to understand, hey, people are coming to me for Puerto Rican recipes, so I should probably focus on this and stop putting out disparate that nobody cares about. So the bottom line about blogging, is it possible to make money? Absolutely. But you have to treat it like a business. You can start your blog as a side project. Yes, you can do it while you're working full time. You can turn it into a source of passive full-time income that lets you travel the world and, you know, quit your job, spend time with your family, whatever you want to do. Is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. What form of earning money is easy? I'm not here to sell you a marketing scheme. This is not a multi-level marketing, scheme. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen overnight. I would say you should probably anticipate working on this for the better part of a year, because that's just how much time it's going to take you to really hone your craft, understand your audience, refine your skills, and you have to practice. That's just what it is. So I'm sorry, but I don't have the magic potion, guys, because all I can do is tell you what works, because that's what I've done. And if you put all this stuff into practice, it'll take you a lot less time than it took me to make the kind of money that I make now. I told you I'm saving you from the drama. So to reiterate, analytics is your best friend, BFF. You need to focus on analytics in order to understand how people are interacting with your content, understand what SEO is, and that just takes time. And there are a million resources to start learning. Literally, I Googled all this stuff and taught myself, or just call me, because sometimes we just need a personal trainer, and that's just what it is. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So, okay, now we're going to Mythbusters, the blogging edition. So myth number 1, if you build it, they will come. Lies. Okay, you need to actually put effort into putting yourself out there, using what I've taught you about SEO and what you will teach yourself about SEO, that to actually get people to find your website. Myth number 2, you need to be a tech savvy coder to get a blog up. Also lies. These plugins are coded for you, so you just need to find plugins that do whatever magic thing you're trying to do. And you can, once you have your WordPress site set up, you can literally search for plugin for recipe making, whatever. There's a million, and they're all free. So myth number 3, you have to write every single day. Another lie. I would say 1 to 2 times a week is more than enough. If you want to write every single day, be psychotic, go for it. It's fine. Myth number 4, blogging is an easy way to earn a ton of cash. It's not easy, but there are a lot harder ways to earn money, like sitting in an office for 9, 10, 12 hours a day with people you don't fucking like and a boss that you can't stand. I'm just saying, okay? So, myth number 5, it makes no sense to pay something to help me with my blog when I haven't monetized it yet. That is total crap. So stop. The same way that you went to school and you got a degree for a job that you didn't even know how much it was going to pay you, but you were like, all right, fuck it, I'll get into $100,000 of debt and hope this is going to make me money. No. You have to invest in yourself if you're ever going to make anything of the blog, okay? So spend $99 for the year versus $100,000 for a degree from Columbia to teach anthropology and then you can't get a job. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. The bottom line about making money with a blog, okay? Is it worth it? 1,000% yes. If you like writing, I cannot imagine a better business. And it's a great way to get your writing noticed, but it's also an amazing way to connect with the world, to teach people, and to get paid pretty damn well in exchange. Okay, so I have a surprise for everyone. Thank you for sticking around. I want to invest in you. So what I want you to do right now, take a picture with me. I'm going to make my face bigger up on this. How do I do this again? Ooh, not Q&A time yet. Oh, I broke it. I don't know what to do. Okay, so take a picture. And I want you to post this on IG. Tell me why you want to start a blog. Tag Quiero, Dinero podcast and hashtag Side Hustle Summit. And I will be picking 4 lucky winners to win $25 to start your blog. I will DM you. Okay. Now, Q&A time. Let's get to the questions. Ooh. All right. How do you buy versus rent? Okay. So when you are going to buy your domain, you are going to go to, say, GoDaddy.com. That's where I bought my domains. It's going to ask you to search for what you're looking for. If it's available, you literally buy it, put in your credit card information, and then it's yours. Then you can either choose to continue hosting it and use, GoDaddy to create your website, or you can just transfer to someone else. And most web hosts have a service where they will do the transfer for you. They just need a couple of pieces of technical information and they'll explain to you what they actually need to do that. And then it is yours. You own it. You can do whatever you want with it. Do I have an LLC? I do have an LLC because I started making a good amount of money and I was like, yo, I can't be like just putting this in my personal checking account because the IRS is going to come and find me and they're going to be asking all types of questions. So yes, once you start making a significant amount of money, actually, I wouldn't even say that. I would say like once you just realize that you're serious about making money blogging, like start the LLC because there are tax benefits to it for sure. What do you think about picking a name in Spanish? I think there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it makes sense, like for what you're doing, go for it. Why not? If it speaks to your audience and like what they want to do and what they're looking for, like go for it. Do you need great grammar skills? Girl, I have the worst grammar skills. I have so many typos. And my mother's a secretary and she's always like, Mija, like you got typos, like fix your posts. And I'm like, okay, mom. So yeah, you don't need good grammar. Just have someone proofread for you if you're not good at that. Does having a blog in English and Spanish affect SEO? I don't think so. It's all about the keywords. So if you're going to be consistent about your keywords, like pick a language. You can sprinkle Spanish and English in the same post, but you want your keywords to be aligned. What are your thoughts on remaining semi-anonymous? Yeah, there's actually a good amount of people that do that, especially when it comes to like personal finance. I've noticed that's really popular because sometimes people just want to be super honest about their numbers, and they don't want people knowing, hey, I make like $200,000 a year, because nobody needs to know the type of information. So yeah, I don't think there's an issue with being semi-anonymous, as long as you understand that you're gonna have to be super active, like to engage your audience. Probably social media is a good place to build that relationship. So I'm gonna finish answering the questions in the Q&A section, then I'll go to the chat, unless you guys want to transfer those in here. How does cost of hosting site vary based on how much traffic you have? Yes, it does. So to start off your blog, you can pay like I said, like $7 a month for like the basic hosting, for a site. But once you start getting to the numbers that I'm talking about, like, a million people a year, whatever, you're going to need to pay for that extra bandwidth. Otherwise, your site's going to be crashing all the time. So your web host will tell you, based on like your approximate traffic, what plan makes the most sense. And there's incremental increases that are associated with that. How many hours should we be devoting to a blog each day to make money? So I would say you want to be, it's not about hours per se, it's about like how frequently you're posting, especially up front. You definitely want to be posting at least once a week, maybe twice. And then I would also invest like at least a couple hours a week, like getting to really understand, the SEO and the analytics content, because that takes a while to understand. How do you manage writing content, taking pictures, and creating newsletters? I don't sleep. No, but seriously, you have to like create a game plan for a blog. Like, I like to map out, okay, what do I want to do this week? What do I want to post about? Because planning then allows you to really, focus in your content. So if I'm decided like I'm going to make a specific recipe, I first start researching like what kind of photos do I want to take. I really do go on Google and look at different people's examples of like how they plated a dish that is similar to what I'm trying to do, so that I get inspired about ideas about how to actually like arrange it. And yeah, I create a plan, and my newsletters actually go out automatically. So there's a function with like email subscription companies that you can have your new posts automatically send to your users. So you don't actually have to create a newsletter every time you put a new post. It'll just pick the most recent blog post and then automatically send that. So that's super useful, because I don't do a lot of active like newsletter sending. I just let the service do it for me. How do I copyright? I am not a lawyer, so I don't know the ins and outs of copyright logistics. I would definitely speak to an attorney about if you have to actually like, trademark something, or if just like the fact that you are the first one putting content out on the internet has, gives you the rights. Do bloggers pay taxes? Absolutely. I pay a shit ton. How can I make my blog secure? Oh, so there is a feature that you can enable on your site that makes it a secure site. So the way you can tell if a site's secure is like you'll see HTTPS, and I believe there are plugins that you can activate to make your website quote unquote secure. And yes, they can be hacked, and you can also install plugins to prevent like spamming on your comments and all types of stuff. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. Oh, Joy is recommending Unorthodox Legal. Check her out. She works with creatives. Awesome. Yeah, I need a lawyer. I have Wix. Oh my God, Wix. Don't do it, girl. Wix makes it seem like that they will allow you to like create something magical. I've used Wix in the past and it's just not good. So switch it over. Go to somewhere else. I never recommend like those build your website template things, because they don't let you customize it to the point that you need to in order to monetize. Have you ever had issues? Security. Fortunately not, but there are like situations where My IG feed stopped. Okay. So yeah, there are situations where you can absolutely get like those DNS like attacks or whatever they're called, but I have not had issues with that. But you can absolutely enable like security functions in your site with plugins to stop that. Absolutely, the most important thing is obviously to keep your password secure. How do you make your blog mobile friendly? Your theme will do that for you. Your theme, when you're selecting one, it'll tell you if it's mobile friendly or not. Are you strategic with ads? Yes. I do not work with any companies that I do not personally already use or that I have not used in the past. So if you're like, trying to have me make a recipe with a product that I've never encountered before and I just don't know anything about you, like I'm just not going to work with you. But that is at your discretion. Like sometimes, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of people, you can see that on Instagram, on all over the place. Like there's just people that accept proposals from anybody and anybody, but just understand like that when you're endorsing a product that attaches your name to that product, and if they end up being like a really shady ass company, then that could drag down your reputation too. No flat tummy tea, guys. Don't be buying that shit. It's crap. How long should we prep our blog before we publish? Girl, you need to publish that shit now. Like, don't get caught up in the planning. Just buy your domain, install that WordPress on your web host and publish. Let's start writing, because every blog post is, think of it like a web. It's going out into the world. It's connecting Google to your website. And like the longer you wait, why are you going to wait? Don't do it. How long did you wait until you started to dig into analytics? Well, I didn't know about analytics until I took that course. So I would say like 6 months after I started. Assuming you need to wait a bit to get traffic going, or you should check it every time you log in, because it'll help you understand what's happening. How often should someone post content? 1 to 2 times a week at the minimum. Honestly, right now, I haven't blogged in, I probably blog like 5 times a year. I really don't do a lot because most of my content is just like, it's just out there. So I really blog when I'm inspired at this point. I don't have to do a lot of it. It just kind of runs itself. Where can we find a copy? What is this? 108-page booklet. I don't know what that means. What did your blog look like before you narrowed it down? Girl, I was just cooking all types of random shit, like recipes that just nobody would ever be looking for. It was just like, let me find what's in my refrigerator and like just make something. I thought I was hosting an amateur version of Chopped. Like, just made no sense. So don't do that. Do I need 2 different blogs? I have a travel blog, travel name, and also food and wellness too. You can absolutely merge that into one. That sounds like a lifestyle blog. So you can have a travel section, you can have a food and wellness section, and then you're building your blog around you as a person and as a brand. Will we get copies? Yes. So this entire session is being recorded. It will be on YouTube. So I have to start a YouTube channel now. So I will be posting that. And I'll send you guys a link once it's up. How would you suggest starting an IG? Oh, I want to mention that too. So make sure that when you're looking for your blog name, that your IG like counterparts are actually available, because there's nothing more annoying than having a blog named one thing and then like the social media is like spelled different, or there's a hyphen in one, there's like an apostrophe in the other. Like that makes no sense. So check your social media availability along with the actual URL. And get all of them at the same time. That's what I did. Trademarking your website. I have not, well, actually, no, I'm lying. I'm actually in the process of trademarking Delicious Lights after, what is it, almost 7 years. I'm a hot ass mess. But that's just because I didn't want to pay for it because it's expensive. But you should absolutely like trademark if that's important to you. I don't think it matters, but I just had nothing else to do. It's very expensive. It's like, I think I spent over $1,000 at this point, and it's not even done. Do I still have a full-time job? Absolutely. I have a full-time job. I run a podcast, I'm a food blogger, and I teach Zumba, and I'm a wife, and I have 2 dogs and a very needy Hispanic family. So I do a lot of shit and I don't sleep a lot, but I focus on the fact that this blog has like it's bloomed into something that has given me the ability to pay off my student loans in I paid off $39,000 in 17 months because of my blog. I'm able to invest enough money to be able to retire in 10 years. So I'll be 45 at that point. And so at this point, I'm just kind of in hustle mode. I'm going to work until I don't want to work anymore. And then once I'm done with the 9 to 5, I'm hoping that the blog is in a place where it can just be my full-time income. So that's the goal. You don't really have an audience, but feel ready to start writing. How do you get your blog noticed? Well, you have to start writing to build an audience. So I would say know who you're writing to based on your content. Okay? Like you have to understand you might not have the audience now, but like who do you want them to be? And what do they know? What do they search for? And that's where the trends.google.com thing will help you. You know, if you're into sewing, like what are people that are into sewing looking for right now? Are they looking for patterns? Are they looking for different stitching? Are they looking at new machines? Like what? So you have to understand like what people are searching for, because then that'll help you determine your audience. Can we create a community with everyone here? Oh, so I'm so glad you mentioned that. So go down to the bottom of the screen where it says call to action, and you can actually join my Facebook group, and then we can all talk and have fun and share lots of information and stories and content. There should be a call to action button on the bottom. Is it there? Maybe it's there now. Okay, let me put the link in the chat. Quiero. Okay, back to the questions. Yes, join the Facebook group. Are you able to choose to add content that yes. Okay, so that's important. My ad provider does let me opt out of like racy ads, alcohol, gambling, like sensational fake news type shit. Anything that's like gambling, lotteries, all that stuff, you can opt out of that content if you're working with an ad network that has like credibility. So that's important. I opt out of all that stuff because ain't nobody got time for like shady ass ads. That brings down your reputation too. And you know that I've gotten emails in the past, like when I first started, I had a different company and there was like all kinds of weird stuff they were putting on there, and people were like, why are you like advertising Viagra? I'm like, what are you talking about? I need to get rid of this. So yeah, that's important. How soon did you monetize makeup for the $100 investment? That's hard to know because I really wasn't, I'm so bad at accounting, but this is all tax deductible, guys. So it's important to know. You can deduct all your expenses on your taxes, including your internet costs, including if you got to buy a new computer to start blogging, tax deductible. You need a new camera, tax deductible. You want the iPhone X, whatever the fuck, tax deductible. Like, this is how I justify a lot of what I spend money on. So when you're investing in a business, it really does open up the possibility. Like this room that I'm in, this is my home office, according to the IRS, tax deductible. You know, just because there's a desk here. So go for it. You just got to make sure you keep track of all that stuff. Did you monetize makeup hair investment before you took your class? Absolutely not. I was making no money when I took my class. And when I bought my camera and when I, bought my like food blogger setup, I honestly, like, you can never go wrong investing in yourself. And even if it takes some time to get the return on investment, just go for it. You know, like, what is the harm in spending a couple $100s for something that truly like lights you up? And you cannot, like, it is statistically unlikely that the more you practice something, the worse that you get. So just do it. How do we get a one-on-one with you? So you can go ahead and head over to my Instagram. My bio has a link where you can set up a one-on-one, 1 hour long session with me for $49. Price is $99. So you can absolutely set up a one-on-one session with me, and we can go through your blogging plan. I can help you fill out that build your blog template, and you can, we can spend the hour figuring out what you want to do. I would like to write a blog, but not sure about what topic. I have in mind parenting and how we struggled from having no money. Can I use the blog as journaling? Absolutely. A lot of people use it to put, their thoughts and experiences out there and connect with other like-minded people. So I would definitely, that is not a topic that is mutually exclusive to you. There's a lot of people that are parenting and struggling with money, and they would absolutely love to understand like what you're doing to change that. And I think you'll find that there's a lot of people that you can connect with on that topic. I think that's just right. How do we find a good ad provider? So I would start with Google AdSense, because Google AdSense actually does not have a minimum readership requirement. So they will accept you if you have 100 people coming to your site. Obviously, you're not going to make any money doing that. So the focus should be on getting to traffic numbers so that you can get to more elite ad networks that require minimum traffic. So like, I think for mine, I use AdThrive, and I believe you need like 100,000. I want to say 100,000 monthly followers, but don't quote me on that. There's other companies too, like Mediavine is one, Moneymetric is another. You can absolutely go on Google and Google like, what is it, blog ad networks, and that you can find a list of them. You have to wait to get advertisers. Yes, you do. It will take you some time to get ads that pay. So your focus should not be on like writing crap content. It should be on writing good content so that people start trusting you, you start building traffic, and then the ads will come. What camera did I start out with? My iPhone. And I think it was like an iPhone 5, 6. And then I upgraded to like a DSLR camera, with a nice lens or whatever. But even that, I bought it refurbished because I'm cheap, but it works just as good as the new one. But like some of the iPhones have better cameras than what I use with my professional DSLR at this point. So if you got a nice like iPhone 10, you could absolutely start with that. How did COVID-19 affect bloggers? So it's funny, my ad company actually has been doing weekly seminars for different blogging niches. So they did one for food bloggers the other, maybe a week ago. And it's interesting enough, it makes sense. People are cooking a lot more than ever, right? They're home. And they're seeking things like comfort food and pantry staple ingredients, things that you can prepare like in mass, like casseroles and stuff like that. So for me, monetarily, it has been actually really good. Like my numbers are never this high during this time of year. Usually Q1 and Q2 for food bloggers is kind of on the low side. If you think about like the main food centric holidays, it's like Christmas, Thanksgiving. So we make a ton of money in the fourth quarter of the year. But because people have been home so much and they're forced to cook, like it's actually been really good. But if you think about somebody who's a travel blogger, that shit's not going well right now. Or somebody who's like into health and fitness, maybe if they're focused more on like the holistic medicine, a lot of those things have gotten flagged for like being fake science stuff with, so it really depends on like what your niche is, on how it's affected you, whether it's positive or negative. What's a spam blocker? I think it's called Askimet. I think that's the one that I use. And one thing that I've also enabled on my blog is I have made it so that comments have to be approved by me before they just automatically post to my comment section, because I don't want to deal with bots. But Askimet actually does a really good job of filtering those through. Thoughts on a cancer recovery blog? Absolutely. Yeah, girl. There's a lot of people talking about how they've conquered cancer and the things that they've done in their diet, exercise, and focus, and recovery. Yeah, I would absolutely go for it. And then do your research. See who else is talking about it and how they're talking about it. We're on IG. Oh, go to my bio on IG and you'll see there's a menu there that you can set up a one-on-one session with me. What is the hardest part now? I think the hardest part for me now is feeling inspired. Like I feel like I you, there's a a side to things where like when you start making like money and something becomes more of like a job, sometimes the passion kind of fades a little bit. So you have to remember like why you started sometimes. I like finding inspiration by traveling because I feel like that renews my vibes. Um, yeah, I think that's the hardest part is just staying like active. But and then I don't have really like a huge reason to do it because either when I'm posting or I'm not posting, I'm making money. So it's like it's made me kind of lazy. So I need to get my shit together. And I need to stop doing a million things so I actually have time. Yes, I will be emailing all of you the link to the recorded live video. What other plugins do I use? So I'm going to actually send you guys a list of the top 10 plugins that I use. So you'll be getting those in your inbox. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been a pleasure. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. As always, if you want more content, make sure that you sign up for the waitlist if you haven't already for the sessions that are throughout the rest of the week. And, send me feedback. Let me know how you enjoyed this. Look for an email from me. I'm going to have a ton of information for you. And make sure that you do your IG submission and tag me so that you can win potentially $25. And yeah, thanks, guys.